Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernest Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. There is an SEC matchup on Saturday night that has some interesting storylines because you have the Ole Miss Rebels traveling on the road to face the Auburn Tigers. That's already a pretty solid matchup, but Hugh Freeze is the head coach of the Auburn Tigers, and his former team that he used to be the head coach of was the Ole Miss Rebels a few years ago. So that's crazy. Me and WillND, we preview and predict whether we think that Lane Kiffin can keep the Rebels rolling with a win at Auburn or whether Hugh Freeze can get his Tigers to beat his former team in the Ole Miss Rebels at home.
Here we go. Hugh Freeze playing his old team.
This is one of those games that has upset written all over it because it's at Jordan-Hare at night. And the fact that Auburn almost beat Georgia, and if it wasn't for Brock Bowers in the fourth quarter, could have beat Georgia, then more people would believe in Auburn. Now, they did get destroyed last week against LSU, but it was on the road. Ole Miss is a good team. Jaxson Dart's been playing well. I mean, no one's talking about him. Like, when you talk about, like, some of the better quarterbacks in the country, no one brings up Jaxson Dart. But look at his stats. They're not bad. 12 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1,600 yards. Can't ask for much more than that. Judkins on the ground. He hasn't had a great season, but I think he's been banged up some, which hasn't really helped. And it's tough to run in the SEC. It really is. You have to be like at the top of your game to do it. I feel like he has more of a spotlight than he did last year because he was younger now that people know about him. It's like they're keying in on him more. But I think that Auburn could win this game because of the fact that you do have him facing his former team. It's at home. Like I said, it spells upset written all over. Auburn is not a great team, but they're good enough and they're talented enough to win a game like this, especially against an Ole Miss team that is not as talented as some of the other top teams in the SEC. They're not as talented as Alabama. They're not as talented as LSU or Georgia. But I'm going to go, with all that being said, I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I think Lane Kiffin is going to find a way, even though sometimes Ole Miss gets themselves in trouble by going for it on fourth down a lot in key moments of games, especially a game like this. I could see Ole Miss losing this game, but I will take Ole Miss to beat Auburn 31-28. But I think this could be one of the best games of the day.
Yeah, right now I just don't. I trust Ole Miss's offense a lot better than I trust Auburn's.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Ole Miss's defense isn't great, but I'll still pick them to win 45-28.
And it definitely could be a higher scoring game than what I had. I just think it's going to be a really close, hard-fought game that I think Auburn could win. It would not surprise me. It's one of those games where if Auburn wins and then people are like shocked on like Auburn won, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's just not a shock to me if Auburn won. But I'll go with Ole Miss. Maybe we've seen so many upsets that the upsets are not becoming as shocking anymore. It's crazy. Like, you know, when I was younger, if Auburn, like an unranked 3-3 Auburn team beat a top 15 team in Ole Miss, I'd be like, wow, that's unbelievable. Now it's like I've seen it all, man. I mean, we're seeing upsets galore that this would not shock me, but I'll still take Ole Miss. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below whether you think that Ole Miss or Auburn will win this SEC matchup and why. What you think about me and WillND's pick for this game. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I will see you next time.